Hello everyone, welcome back to the Chelsea Show. Today, Chelsea returned to winning ways with a much-needed 2-0 victory over Everton at Stamford Bridge. But the post-match talking point was not only the result or the performance. Instead, it was ENZO MARESCA's surprisingly candid and emotional reaction, as the Chelsea head coach revealed he had endured what he described as the worst 48 hours since I joined the club, despite his side moving back into the Premier League top four. The Blues delivered a composed and efficient display after a difficult run of form, having failed to beat Leeds, Bournemouth and Atalanta in their previous 3 outings. Malo Gusto was central to Chelsea's resurgence on the afternoon, setting up Cole Palmer for the opening goal before getting on the scoresheet himself to seal the win. Palmer once again showed his importance to MARESCA's side with a calm and clinical finish, while Gusto's energy and intelligence from fullback gave Chelsea a cutting edge down the right. However, it was when MARESCA was asked about Gusto's performance that the Italian unexpectedly turned his attention to what he felt was a lack of backing in the days leading up to the match. Clearly frustrated, MARESCA hinted at criticism and negativity that had surrounded both him and the team during their recent struggles, though he stopped short of naming who his comments were aimed at. The last 48 hours have been the worst 48 hours since I joined the club because many people didn't support us, MARESCA said. So I'm very happy for Malo, that the effort from Malo and from the rest show that they are all there and they want to help this club. When pressed to clarify whether his remarks were directed internally or externally, MARESCA refused to be drawn, instead repeating his point and making sure to separate the supporters from his criticism. Worst 48 hours since I joined the club because people didn't support me and the team, he said again. I love the fans, and we are very happy with the fans. That distinction was important, especially given the atmosphere at Stamford Bridge, where supporters backed the team throughout and celebrated a performance that looked far more in control than recent outings. For MARESCA, the result felt like vindication after days of scrutiny, particularly following the disappointing draw against Leeds. He took full responsibility for that setback, admitting his own mistakes rather than placing blame on his players. I took completely 100% responsibility from the Leeds game, MARESCA explained. It's been my mistake in terms of the lineup, in terms of the game plan. It was not about the players. Again, we are getting better and better and better, especially with all these kinds of situations that we try to manage since day one. Chelsea's performance against Everton reflected that message. The team looked organised, patient in possession, and more decisive in the final third. Defensively, they limited Everton's clear chances despite the visitors having moments where they threatened to get back into the contest. Everton manager David Moyes was blunt in his assessment of the gap between the two sides, pointing to the financial disparity as a key factor. Maybe £1 billion difference, Moyes said. Overall, it's a game of 11 v 11, so that's how we started. I thought we played well. The visitors were dealt an early blow when Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall was forced off after just 16 minutes with an unspecified injury, disrupting their midfield balance. Jack Grealish was also withdrawn late on after feeling his hamstring, adding to Moyes' frustrations on the day. Despite those setbacks, Everton continued to compete and created opportunities, particularly in the second half. We were never out of the game at 2-0, Moyes added. Today might have even got us into the top 4 if we got a result. In football, you get a chance, you've got to take it. It wasn't for the want of trying, that's for sure. We actually challenged the players to come to Chelsea and show that we could match them. Maybe we just ran short of the quality required. For Chelsea, the win may prove to be a turning point, not just in the league table, but in terms of belief and unity. MARESCA's comments suggest a manager who feels the pressure acutely, but also one who remains convinced in his methods and the commitment of his players. With momentum restored and confidence lifted, the challenge now is to ensure this result becomes the foundation for consistency rather than a brief moment of relief. Cole Palmer chose the perfect afternoon to remind everyone exactly why he is such a special talent. And Chelsea fans inside Stamford Bridge felt it instantly. With England boss Thomas Tuchel watching from the stands, Palmer returned to the scoresheet in a 2-0 win over Everton that was about far more than just 3 points. It was about reassurance, rhythm, and a glimpse of what Chelsea can still become this season. Memories alone don't earn World Cup places, but moments do. And Palmer delivered one when his body finally allowed him to. Injuries have disrupted his campaign badly. A troublesome toe and an ongoing groin issue have kept him on the sidelines for much of the season. But on this day, even limited to around an hour of action, he made the decisive difference. The goal itself may not rank among the most extravagant of Palmer's Chelsea strikes. There were no elaborate feints or outrageous pieces of improvisation. Yet, in its simplicity, it was almost perfect. Timing, intelligence, composure. All the hallmarks of Palmer at his best were there. Ghosting in from the blind side of two Everton defenders, he controlled Malo Gusto's incisive pass with the outside of his left boot and calmly shaped his body to deceive Jordan Pickford. The look suggested far post, the finish went near, and Stamford Bridge erupted. Classic Palmer, effortless, efficient, and devastating. For Chelsea supporters, the sight of Palmer shivering in celebration felt like a welcome return to healthier times. It was his first appearance at home since the opening weekend of the season, and the impact was immediate. His intervention in the 21st minute effectively settled the contest, giving the team control and confidence that had sometimes been missing in recent weeks. ENZO MARESCA will hope this marks the beginning of a sustained run, rather than another brief cameo before further setbacks. The Italian coach has seen his young side fluctuate wildly, capable of demolishing Barcelona one week and then stumbling against domestic opposition the next. Recent dropped points have weakened Chelsea's title push, but this was a big and timely win against an Everton side that arrived in strong form, having won 4 of their previous 5 matches. Everton did have their chances, and Chelsea fans will admit that on another day the visitors might have punished some familiar defensive lapses. James Tarkowski, Thiago Barry and Jack Grealish all had good opportunities to level the score before the second goal arrived. That vulnerability continued after the break too, with Grealish going close again and Iliman Ndiaye striking the post. These moments will concern MARESCA, but they did not define the afternoon. Instead, the spotlight belonged to Malo Gusto. The French fullback was outstanding, playing a direct role in both goals and delivering one of his finest performances in a Chelsea shirt. His assist for Palmer was all about awareness and quality. A quick glance, followed by a perfectly weighted pass that sliced through Everton's defensive line. Later, he capped his display by scoring himself, finishing off a rapid move that showcased Chelsea's speed and intent in transition. That second goal was pure adrenaline. From Robert Sanchez's hands to the back of the net in just 3 passes, it was football played at pace. Gusto's powerful run through the middle set it in motion. Pedro Neto added incision after beating his man, and Gusto finished the move he had started. It was a reminder of the attacking weapons Chelsea possess when everything clicks. There were positives elsewhere too. Reece James, deployed in midfield to cover Moises Caicedo's suspension, controlled large spells of the game and showed his versatility and leadership. Still, fans and coaches alike will hope his workload can be managed carefully, given his injury history. The return of Caicedo will be welcomed. For Chelsea supporters, this win felt important not just for the table, but for belief. Palmer's return, Gusto's brilliance, and flashes of attacking fluency offered encouragement. There is still work to do, still flaws to fix, but on this afternoon at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea felt like a team moving forward again.